And that's the angle. All right, joining me now, Senator Eric Schmitt, member of the Armed Services Committee, Senator Ron Johnson, a member of the Homeland Security Committee. Senator Schmitt, I know you're all in the meeting with Zelensky today. Were any skeptical minds changed?
No, there was nothing new here. It's the same old, same old. And I think what was striking, though, is you had the president from Ukraine in the halls of the Capitol talking about the importance of protecting the sovereignty of his borders. And here we have a president in this country that refuses to address the sovereignty of our own border, our southern border, where there are millions of people coming across, terrorists. We have no idea who these people are. So there's a total disconnect. And it just struck me, the conversations here in Washington on this are so different than in real America. Real Americans are struggling. They want us to focus on that, not a blank check for an endless war.
Now, Senator Johnson, your colleague Mark Kelly revealed today that there's really no strategy for Ukraine. Watch this.
What does an obtainable victory look like in Ukraine?
There will be a clear winner and loser in this conflict. I mean, everybody needs to understand that. I mean, there will be an end to this, and we need to make sure that the Ukrainians win.
I'm still short on the specifics of what victory looks like.
Well, let's start with them not losing.
Is this 8th grade? Let's start with them not losing. What are the American people gaining here?
Well, first of all, there is no strategy for Ukraine to win because they can't win. The only way they could win is they'd have to start lobbing missiles into Moscow to reduce Russia's support for the war. They can't do that.
The Pentagon knows this, though, right?
Yeah.
The Pentagon knows that they have lost the war already.
This is 22 months. They tried a summer offensive. It didn't work. This is a bloody stalemate. Every day that goes by, more Ukrainians die. More Russian conscripts die. I take no joy in that. More Ukraine gets destroyed. So this war should be brought to an end. The sooner the better, because every day the outcome ends up being worse. It's going to have to be a negotiated settlement. And from a standpoint of what America wants, we want a secure border, and that's what blows.
But they're two separate things. I mean, of course we want a secure border. This whole idea of tying them together, that was a fool's errand from the beginning. Tying our border to Ukraine, what we do to Ukraine, makes zero sense.
Certainly the way that President Biden wanted to do that. He just wanted more money to more efficiently encounter, process, and disperse.
Yeah, bring them in.
We need to actually secure the border.
Yeah, but they have no credibility on that.
And I think it's also worth noting, we're already $112 billion into Ukraine. They want another $60 billion.
That's a down payment.
In
this another 160.
No, that's exactly right. We've already heard in other briefings another $100 billion request is coming next year, and I think it's responsible for us to ask, to what end here? How does this serve? I mean, there's no articulation of strategy. What victory means, it's sort of insulting.
Now, go ahead.
It was interesting because President Zelensky did say, if he doesn't get support for America, this will turn into guerrilla war. Well, that's really what he ought to be telling Putin. So there's no way you're going to be able to completely take over Ukraine. We will fight to the end, and this will be a guerrilla war, and you're not going to want that. You need to come to the negotiating table. Let's end this war.
Now, Fiona Hill, who everyone remembers from impeachment fame, she was an advisor in the Trump White House, also for Obama. She's also on the board of Harvard during all of this stuff with Claudine Gay. She's making the case that, look, if America doesn't step up, we are going to have a diminished standing in the world. Senator Schmitt, excuse me. What about that argument, that we have to do this for our standing in the world?
I think those are tired old arguments meant to sort of scare people into some sort of decision that doesn't make any sense. The truth of the matter is, this isn't Europe's backyard. And the European allies need to step up. They refuse to do it. We also have legit concerns about corruption that you noted in your openings. And the Democrats have blocked any movement for an audit.
Where's the IG?
Yeah, they don't want to do it.
Inspector General on this.
Well, first of all, let me say that she's a little late threatening that, because we've already seen a diminished America. If you were asked to design a strategy to destroy this country, you could not ask for a better game plan than what President Biden and the Democrats are implementing.
Does it seem purposeful to you?
How could it almost not be? I mean, the open borders, the 40-year high inflation, war on fossil fuel, the embarrassing and dangerous surrender in Afghanistan, which has emboldened Putin. That's why Putin's in Ukraine, because we surrendered in Afghanistan. He saw the weakness. That's what the mullahs are seeing. That's what President Xi sees. So they're destroying this country. Democrat governance is.
In this cultural Marxism that you've seen take hold of important institutions, which has played out with DEI and CRT, you wonder why you see these things happening on the street and college campuses. There's your answer. It's been indoctrination for generations.
We got a woke Pentagon. Are we going to shovel them more money? Let them dictate the future?
Right.
They're woke, just like it is the colleges. All right. Great to see both of you. Thank you for coming into studio, and love the beard.
Merry Christmas.
Good on you. Merry Christmas.